Welcome to the Glenn Beck program. Last week, the voters said, okay, can you guys, stop for a second? Or maybe it was more like, freeze and get your hands out of my wallet. Stop screwing with the Constitution. Nancy Pelosi said, okay, I'll do that. Healthcare is out, she said. Barney Frank said it would be a mistake to disregard the voice of the voters and pass healthcare anyway. 61% of the American people say, drop healthcare. I told you last week that we are either going to see a progressive revolutionary emerge in our president, or Bill Clinton will suddenly appear and they will begin to triangulate and play politics. Well, not only are we seeing revolutionaries, this weekend they decided to fight with everything they've got. But it's not just revolutionaries, it's arrogant revolutionaries. According to an insider claiming to be present for the meetings that have occurred with Barack Obama, he recently said that the difference between what happened with health care in 1994 and what is happening now in 2010 is, and I quote, "You've got me." Well, that's great. By the way, that insider just happens to be Arkansas Congressman Marion Barry, a Democrat. So, sure, we're going to get health care, from a progressive, and he is a progressive, but at least he's a humble progressive. Hello, America. I'm going to get to all the news of the day, and there's plenty of time for the White House to call. You can call me anytime and just correct anything we say, but they're not going to yet again today. This year, I told you, this show is going to be different. And so while we are going to get to the news, I want to explain the approach of this program for the next few months, 12 months maybe. Last year, all I tried to do was just figure out what the heck is going on. I mean, I was up all the time, got about 2-3 hours of sleep on some nights, most nights, in fact, because I was reading, trying to figure it out, trying to just figure out what are they doing. Well, we figured it out together last year, and this year I've decided that the only way to move forward and to fix it is just to remember who we are as Americans, learn and remember where we came from, and more importantly, correct the history that progressives have tried to erase. Friday night, we showed you the history of communist revolutionaries that's not taught. Well, I have to tell you, we just got the ratings a little while ago, and it was the #1 show on cable news on Friday. We were a little concerned that people would even watch it. I mean, it was a documentary. You know what I'm saying? It was #1. We had 4 million viewers tune in, unheard of. In fact, it was the highest ratings we have ever had for a non-news event. At 5 o'clock, these ratings don't happen. Thank you. You are eager to learn the history that progressives are erasing, as am I. Well, all this week, we're going to take a deeper look into what we showed you. We're going to show you the different things and how it relates. What we showed you on Friday, that was the end game for crazy people. We're going to see if we can find any similarities that are happening here. Politico had several professors watch our special on Friday night, no doubt to find all the outrageous errors this clown makes on television. Well, I'm here to report that they found none. But let me share 2 of the criticisms. Clemson University professor Stephen Marks, author of How Russia Shaped the Modern World, said that while Beck doesn't explicitly tie the left-wing totalitarian regimes of the past to contemporary liberals, that's what he's hinting at here. And no one in their right mind is going to defend Stalin or Mao or Che. The implication is that this is all going to happen if Democrats get their way. This is a complete lie. Wow. These poor professors have such a hard time finding anything wrong with the special that they have to go with implied lies. First of all, it's not the Democrats. It's the progressives that we talk about. And really, you're saying that nobody, open your eyes, Stephen, just a little bit, will you? You're saying that nobody is defending people like Chairman Mao.
Mao Zedong and Mother Teresa, not often coupled with each other, but the 2 people that I turn to most.
We know that the free market is nonsense. We know this is largely about power, that it's an adults-only, no-limit game. We kind of agree with Mao that political power comes largely from the barrel of a gun.
Okay, you know what? I don't. I don't agree with that, that power largely comes from the barrel of a gun. Do you? Is that the country you want to live in? And by the way, let's not forget this in the White House on the Christmas tree this year. It's an ornament with Chairman Mao. But remember, what was it Stephen the professor said? Nobody is defending those guys. No, no, no. Looks like they're honoring them. By the way, this was just sent in today from a viewer. These are the people that we used to like. Can you get this, a tighter shot of this anywhere? Hey, here are the people that we used to like, right? All popping their head? Yeah. Now look what we've turned into. What are we doing? These examples, I guess these are just from the Obama administration, so don't worry about it. As for Che, we've seen the glorification of Che for years from the left. How many movies have come out from Hollywood recently about Che? He's a freedom fighter. He's a champion of the worker. Really? If you're saying that nobody in Hollywood is in their right mind, or nobody in this administration is in their right mind, you might have me there. But I don't think that's what the professor was insinuating here. The Politico article had more thoughtful criticism. Alan Wolf, the director of the Boise Center for Religion and American Life at Boston College, said that not only was our film not accurate, but that Beck lives in a complete alternative universe. Well, first of all, about that awkwardly phrased "not only isn't" line from Michael Calderon at the Politico, I mean, couldn't we not try to smooth out our sentence structure here a little bit? I mean, not only isn't smooth, it isn't also unconfusing. But I digress. He continued, as an example, he said, Beck mentions how the Nazis supported programs like universal health care as evidence that their ideology may have more to do with the left than the totalitarian right. Nazi Germany was not evil because of their economic program, you think? Said Wolf, which he noted included a few programs designed to promote public health. It was evil, he said, because it aimed at the extermination of European Jewry. Yes. I got that, Alan. Thanks, Professor. Who's pushing state-run health care now? Is it the right or is it the left? Who is it that is always pushing it? Is it the right or is it the left? It is always the people with big government designs. That was the association. Not here that health care made the Nazis evil. That's ridiculous. Now, obviously, a point can be made that totalitarianism starts with the government inserting itself into more and more aspects of our lives, right? But the underlying point here I made in the documentary, and please try to keep up here, Alan, in our alternative universe, the right is continually associated with Nazis. That seems perfectly fine with all the eggheads in this country. Unfortunately, that is the lie that we are exposing. And it's, by the way, again, not the Democrats, it's the progressives on the left. They have been excusing and defending brutal dictators from the beginning. The reason the progressive movement went underground in the first place was all of their failed policies that America's rejected back at the turn of the last century. And then they also had a problem. They kept supporting all these evil dictators around the world. Progressives, like we showed you on Friday, George Bernard Shaw couldn't hide his admiration for the dictators. Watch.
Now, Signor Mussolini cannot take it off. He is condemned, although he is a most amiable man. He is condemned to go through life with that terrible and imposing expression which really does a great deal of injustice to his kindly nature.
He's talking about Mussolini. Shaw gave us a great insight into what the progressives do. He talked about Mussolini's scary look. Right before that part, he said, you know, Mussolini looks like this and looks scary. And I can look like that too, but I can look happy too. But Mussolini is condemned to always look like that. He wanted America to know that he could look scary, but he really wasn't. After it became abundantly apparent to the world the sheer evil that these people were supporting, progressives realized, as George Bernard Shaw demonstrated on camera, that they had to change the scary face. Not the policies, the scary face.